Banner. Banner number 1. Banner number 2. Signs and symbols. Rule the world. Oh, that's great. Most don't.
Hey.
At what age did you learn you lived on a spinning ball, sir? What age?
I'm glad the earth is flat. It's easier to bike this thing.
You believe in the Bible?
Huh?
You believe in the Bible?
Yeah.
Bible in Samuel 2:11 in the Matthew version by William Tyndale, I think it was. He wrote part of that in the New Testament. In it, Samuel 2:11, the original version, it literally says, the tent, or no, put upon this flat earth. Flat earth is the original translation. You ever hear that?
Isn't that?
Have you ever heard that? Not that that
Isn't
is.
that reaching just a little bit?
Why is that reaching? You don't trust the Bible?
Not one particular thing taken out of context.
Okay. How about the
There's no context there?
How about that the in Genesis when it talks about that the earth is immovable, stationary and immovable? Does that sound like a spinning ball to you?
You're talking about John, Revelation?
It could be. You know, I need to brush up on my my verses. I'm new. Honestly, I was an atheist until I learned about flat Earth at age 4 years ago. That's happened to quite a few people.
And you drank the Kool-Aid.
Well, I think you've drank the Kool-Aid, my friend. You believe you live on a spinning ball.
Me and about 6 billion other people.
So you believe that consensus is the answer
what
to
about the photographs taken from space on the moon missions?
Yeah.
What about that?
Do you think we went to the
Showing
moon?
the Earth as a round ball.
Yeah. You think we went into the moon for sure?
Yeah.
Do you think
I drank that Kool-Aid?
Okay, cool. The moon landing occurred in I think 1969, the first one.
Something like that.
Yeah, something around there, right? So it has been 50 years now, right? Do you know that since we went to the moon? 50 years.
Does that have anything to do with
I just want to ask you a question. Well, check this out. In most areas of life, technology advances considerably, I would say. Bicycles, automobiles, airplanes, right? Yep. There is a guy, astronaut named Don Pettit. You could look him up. He's on YouTube. And he's now famous for saying, we lost the technology, quote, we lost the technology to go to the moon, and we do not, it is too difficult a process to build it back, too painful a process. So not only do we not have the technology, they can't even replicate it and get us back to the moon, he's saying.
I don't think that's the problem. I think we lost our motivation. We'd been there, done that.
That's what I'm not.
And NASA just kind of shut it down.
But that's your opinion. What I'm telling you is a fact that is what came out of an astronaut's mouth.
But you haven't explained the photographs taken from space.
Okay, they are.
Is that Photoshop?
They are. Yeah, those are actual. They're stitched together. None of them are considered photographs. None of them. They are all.
Well, maybe not by certain people.
Oh no, the images on the moon itself are supposedly, photographs, but they were photographed probably more likely in a Hollywood studio, like they say in the songs.
I find it a lot easier to believe that than to believe you.
Well, of course you do, because
I mean,
remember,
I see all around it. When I'm a sailor, I can see that the horizon curves down.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Wait, where do you see this?
Huh?
When do you see the
Gulf? I can see when I'm sailing. Boats that are, say, 20 miles away.
You can see curvature?
I can see the tips of their masts.
Right. You know how far it is at 5 feet? 5 feet above sea level. Do you know how far it is to the horizon?
Yeah.
How far?
Usually about 15, 18 miles.
No, actually not. You can generally, if you're about 5 feet above sea level, it's 3.5 miles approximately to the horizon line.
Well, maybe that's right. Maybe that's right for that.
Yeah. But I'm not testing you, and I'm not trying to put you.
But no,
but what I'm.
Does that not prove that?
I'm going to answer you. Let me answer. So, let me ask you this conundrum regarding that. What you just made that point. There's a famous physicist. Have you heard of him? Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know Neil deGrasse Tyson? Have you ever heard of him?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, he's a famous physicist, right?
He's also a believer in global warming.
Yeah. So you just
know that?
Okay. Oh, that's fine. I'm just going to mention something he says though. He says, this is quote. He says that at over 25 miles up at 120,000 feet, that when you're that high, he goes, you cannot see curvature of the earth. He goes, that shit is flat, he says, right? At 120,000 feet. So my question to you is, wait, how can you not see the curvature from 120,000 feet, yet you can see curvature standing at 5 feet above sea level and see it in only 4 miles? Does that make sense to you?
I can't explain it except to say that you're not high enough up to see the curvature.
Right, but what I'm saying
you
is,
have to get higher than that to see the curvature.
But think about this. If you have to go that high to experience curvature, how are you experiencing curvature seeing that ship sail over the horizon at only 4 miles? How is that possible? Do you understand my point?
I see your point.
Yeah.
My goodness. My goodness, my friend, please.
So
you've got to stop believing that kind
Let me ask you though. If I just gave you a point, which point do you think makes more sense at that point? Now I can explain to you how that boat disappears. Whether you want to accept it or not is not my problem, right? The boat disappears because our eyes, our perspective. When you look down the road, right, everything converges up and down to a vanishing point. And then we have a particular point where our eyes cannot process any smaller.
That substitutes for a horizon.
Well, no. We can actually see for sure further than that, but because of the atmosphere, right? Because if you're in an airplane and you look down, you can see freaking 50 miles, right? You can see a long way.
Sure.
But the air up there is a lot thinner. There's not as much water vapor in the air. So, you know, the world is a magical place and full of mysteries, I think, and that. You know, if you actually start to question how it is that you came to believe that you live on a spinning ball, right? That's when you might start, if you actually start to ask questions with a sincere interest in looking for what the true answers are, right? So I would ask you, do you know how fast it is they say we're spinning?
Pardon?
Do you know how fast they say we're spinning right this moment at the equator?
Yeah, we're about 3,000 miles an hour.
All right, it's a little fast. 1,000 miles an hour, we're spinning at the equator. 1,034, I think it is. Okay?
That was 3,000.
It's okay, yeah, I'm
Anyway,
almost positive.
Anyway, it's going pretty fast.
Yeah, so it's going pretty fast. A bullet travels out of a gun at about that speed. A bullet, right? So we're traveling at almost the speed of sound. I think we are traveling
1,300 feet
faster than
1,300 feet
a second, but that's feet. That's feet.
Yeah,
so I'm talking miles per hour. You know what I mean? So it turns out to, I believe it's an equivalent.
There's no comparison between a bullet and the equator.
Well, 1,300 feet, we're 1,000 miles an hour,
That's
remember.
about a third of a mile.
Yeah, but that's in a second, so then you'd have to multiply that times all the seconds in an hour to figure it out.
Are you filming this conversation?
Yeah.
And what are you going to do with it?
I put it up on my channel. It's Zoom Truth is my channel. All right, check this out. But wait, I want to go back to the motion of the earth real quick, okay, before I continue. So we're spinning.
I'm not going to get any help, am I?
Dude, you know what? It's so sad.
You've got everybody scared off.
Of course. I'm crazy, right? So check this out.
No,
so
I think you're just misguided, that's all.
That's fine.
Lots of people misguided.
I thought the same thing when I first heard this, sir. But I looked into it. You know, there's a famous saying, quote, do you know this quote? There is a principle that will keep a man in everlasting ignorance, and it's a proof against all proof. And that principle is condemnation before investigation. Have you heard that? Do you like that? It's a good one. And by the way, I'm not calling you ignorant or anything like that. I'm just saying that
you're just misapplying certain kinds of logic, that's all.
You're sure? Have you investigated?
We have all the physical
Have you investigated? Have you investigated the
and
evidence?
I'm going to say this. Do you believe the Holocaust is real?
Of course, the Holocaust is real. There were certainly, what do you call it? Concentration camps. People died in it. It's a horrible thing. Were the gas chambers real? Absolutely not.
You don't believe that?
100%. I am 99% sure because I got to leave room that I could be wrong again. Yeah, 100%. I'm not a hater, man. I have plenty of Jewish friends and da. But you know, they obviously don't like that particular belief of mine or understanding that I like to call it. How did you were you so quick to jump to that? Where did you how were you able to make that inference?
What inference?
About my beliefs about the Holocaust.
I'm just thinking there are people in two groups. There's two people that deny the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And then there are people who believe in global warming.
Yeah.
And I assume you're in both groups.
Oh no, global warming I think is complete, like, fabricated. I don't think you can prove it.
You don't believe that?
I just don't think you can truly prove it. That they're like who was here measuring the temperature of the Earth, freaking 1,000 years ago, let alone a few thousand years ago, or even 10,000, let alone millions or billions.
Look, I gotta go. This has been very interesting.
Yeah.
You haven't even begun to convince me.
I'm not. I don't want to convince you, my friend. Do you not understand that? It's not my job to convince. I cannot. I don't have the ability.
No.
The only thing that will convince a person.
Have the basis or the information.
What is the only thing that will convince a person? Right? Only their evidence and their quest for the truth is my belief. That is it. Only the evidence. I will never. Because if I
do a little further study.
Wait, how much have you studied? How much have you studied the idea that the Earth could be flat?
Well, I read up on it.
Right.
I haven't studied it.
Right. So that goes back to my point with condemnation before investigation. I would say if you looked at the evidence for flat Earth and you gave it a fair shot, right? Not saying you're going to believe it, right? But if you took a look at it,
You got that right.
then you could make a fair determination that you know for sure that the Earth is a ball. But right now, just judging it without having looked at the evidence that I have, that I've come to, to have this understanding, I think that then you're making just a quick, abrupt assumption. This is my card. This is a card. On there is a guy named Eric. Yeah, there's a guy named Eric Dubay.
I can now prove I have met someone who believes the Earth is flat.
Yeah, man.
I can prove it.
I understand it's flat. I don't feel an ounce of emotion, and neither do you. Do you?
You believe what you believe, that's fine.
Yes. You have to, that
This is a free country so far.
Hey, listen, I enjoyed this conversation. I hope I bump into you again. I won't hold you up all day. But hopefully
Can I go on my way now?
Absolutely, sir.
Can I buy you and get on the...
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Is there
of course.
room there?
You can,
No, there's not room.
I don't know. Here, you want me to move this for you or no?
Other way.
You want me to move it? I'll move it. Here.
Terrific.
See, I'm like a gatekeeper.
There's no,
Can you back up?
there's no reversal.
Oh, okay.
No reversal.
I don't want to get in trouble with the police now.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
See how conversation did happen.
All right, brother. First-hand knowledge that you live on a spinning ball. What would you give me?
I agree with you.
Oh!
I agree.
Are you? But you're wearing a mask.
Because, well, what about the people that thought the Earth was round in the 1600s? They thought those people were crazy, So, like, you got to have both ends.
You're covering all spectrums with the
Right.
mask, so you're not a believer in the ball Earth, but you are a believer in the fake coronavirus?
Yeah, covering all my bases, brother. I'll be here tomorrow.
Dude, I'm so confused now. I don't know which way is up.
See?
I feel like I
Hey,
live on a ball again.
Welcome to my world. God bless you.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
There is a. Do you like the Twilight Zone?
Yeah, I've watched quite a few of those.
All right.
Sure.
Season 2,
Yeah.
episode 29, Obsolete Man.
Okay, I'll check it out. Ooh, I'm glad I have this with me. Season 2, episode 9? Oh,
29.
29.
Obsolete Man.
Obsolete Man.
Obsolete Man.
Gonna check it out.
And Rod Serling says, and I'm using this all the time, let me get it right. We're living in an era where logic is the enemy and truth is a menace.
Logic is the enemy.
And truth
Yeah.
is a menace. We don't even know what truth is
Truth is
anymore.
freaking hated right now, isn't it? Well, this has been going on for so long. I mean, honestly,
Yes,
I feel
know
like I
it
just
has.
woke up only about 4 years ago. So I was completely asleep, so it does make it easier for me to...
You need some help?
No, I'm good. I appreciate it, though. I look like a disaster. I'm going to try to put this out on the road today and see if the police bother me. These here are so much better than in New Jersey. I used to do this in New Jersey.
Pennsylvania.
How's Pennsylvania?
Terrible.
Terrible, too?
Oh my God, it's so cool.
Here, it's like they don't want to bother you as much. I mean, I've seen videos where in Florida, the police are overstepping with what they should be doing. But, like, you know, for my own experience here, I can't say anything negative right now.
Right, too. And you know what I call it? Coming from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Vermont is bad, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I call this, even prior to this, I call this Florida freedom. There's a lot of freedom, more freedom here, individually.
Yeah. Collectively too.
Collectively.
Because I was just talking to my parents about it. I said, you know, where I live, the people for Thanksgiving, they have small little properties and everything, and they needed to park their cars on their lawn, which in some communities, the police would come and be like, you can't do that on your own property, right? But if you want to live in that area, you can go to a gated community and live by a different set of rules. So it's like really nice to have that, like have a little bit of ability to do what you want, still a little bit on your property. I know that they still have tons of rules that we can't do with your own property. This, have you ever heard of?
FlatEarth101.com.
Yeah. Well, I would ask you, have you ever considered how it is you came to the belief that you live on a spinning ball, which is essentially what they tell us we live on? Have you ever considered that? How you came to that belief?
Well, yeah, I know what you're going to say. We were told that, but now we actually have terrestrial pictures of it.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Do
You think those are false?
You think we went to the moon?
Yeah, I do.
You do.
Actually.
Can I ask you a question then?
Yeah.
Let's say we went to the moon. I have a photo over there of the Skylab where they're taking a shower in space.
Right, and you know what I think and I'm like you, I am a skeptic, honestly I am, and I'm a big ufologist. I am. Richard Dolan is my hero.
Okay.
He is. But I think they're also have to be careful and sort it out, because I think deliberately, because they couldn't have cameras up there that showed, they actually did stage things to show what it would be like. Also, I think it's hard to weed out.
I agree with you. I don't know. Like,
but I think
my brother says that to me all the time. He's like, "How do you know?" But it doesn't make sense logically, though, because if they're going to tell everybody they're going to the moon, then it wouldn't hurt them to be able to show you them actually on the moon, right? So why would they then deceive you with something that is showing you that they went to the moon, while simultaneously they're really trying to, they're trying to make it so that they're exposed that they didn't go to the moon, but meanwhile they really did go, because everybody really thinks we went, and everybody thinks we went.
Well, here, I'll ask you.
I don't know if I phrased that correctly.
I know what you're saying. See, I believe just about in everything. The universe is so eternal and so immense and so mysterious that anything can happen, that it does, and can. So, I think the Russians are up there, and the other side of the moon, and many are up there, and even on Mars too.
Yeah, my brother thinks that there's time travel and things like that. Are you familiar with like Freemasonry and all that?
Yeah.
You are, yeah. I mean, you know, there's secret societies. You know, there's so many things that the average person, you know, if I tell them like, you know, doing this over your eye means something, they'll look at you like you have, like your head, you know, you give 3 heads.
I know.
So, you know, it takes a lot to break free, right, of the brainwashing. So the thing that for me is for why the shape of the Earth matters, and I'll get right to the heart of it, why I think it's super important. Right. What they have done, I believe, is they have erased the probability of there being a creator by having a ball Earth.
True.
Because really, if you believe you live on a ball and you believe that the Big Bang is correct, somewhat, it starts to really, like, there's a lot of Christians who say, oh yeah, the Big Bang happened and I believe the Bible too, but they don't really work together. You know, the God created the Earth supposedly in the Bible prior to, I think, the sun, right? So how does that happen with the Big Bang, right? There's a ton of other information in the Bible, and I don't want to get all preachery on you either. But I think they did a very effective job in doing it, because when I grew up and I was in school and young, I thought I was infinitely more intelligent than anybody who bought the garbage that was in the Bible, because I knew that scientism really, because you have to believe it. I didn't prove any of it, right? So science had proven the Big Bang. I went along with it, and then I was kind of elevated in my knowledge to the average common layperson who believes in a creator. And I felt that way for so long, and You know, learning upon the flat Earth. One of the things that you learn about immediately, or that people do, is they immediately understand that then if you live on a flat Earth, and with a high likelihood that there's a dome over our heads. It says it in the Bible. I don't know if you're familiar with the Bible at all.
Yeah, I am. I mean, like the Truman
Yeah,
Show?
like the Truman Show, exactly. And there's a firmament, right? Potentially.
Firmament.
Yeah, it's mentioned in the Bible, right?
Firmament, yeah.
Yeah. So you start to go, whoa, this place was created. I mean, that's not something that you would think you expect to happen in nature, you know? So for me, it was like eye-opening. I felt like I was, it says that you get new eyes, new ears.
Of course.
And I felt like I went through that because all of a sudden now I'm seeing
awake.
things and understanding shit that I was like oblivious to, like everybody else.
Well, also you mentioned, and we're moving to have been for a long time a very secular society and secular world.
Yeah.
And therefore, if you feel that way, there's more atheism. You don't feel there's a life hereafter. So you feel that this is it, and you can only believe in anything that you see or touch, which it's the opposite with me. You know, where what you feel palpably is more solid than what we see here. But if you feel that your world is going to be finite when you die, then you're going to be tapped more into this sphere. I don't want to die, take care of me, and everything like that. So the more secular society we have, this is working very well.
Does the mask, right? How effective is that?
I know.
If everybody's afraid of dying, and I didn't realize I had a fear. I wasn't the fear. Well, I guess I was fearful of dying for most of my life, and I didn't realize it because I used to always be so like, what's the point? And they got me on it. What does it matter? What does anything matter, right? What does it matter? Like, if I'm just another freaking organism running around for a few years, and then when I'm dead, everything just goes pure black, and that's that, which is pretty much what science is telling you with the Big Bang.
Well,
You're
sure.
insignificant,
Yeah.
right? And it led me to feel quite purposeless, and it's crazy because I don't think, just because there's a creator, I mean, it doesn't mean that the creator of the game all of a sudden really, I think, gave you like the soul that we're told. Like, I don't think that's automatic, but I feel like it's true now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's a logical conclusion just because there's a creator, like you could create a video game and have characters running around that are all NPCs, right? Non-player characters that just are robots. They don't have any souls. So the creator created this game with these robots that are running around. So, you know what I mean? I don't like making that leap, but I feel like I understand it now too.
Well, maybe we've been genetically engineered by other forms of life.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe that was evolution. So maybe there was the Big Bang.
You believe in evolution?
I believe both.
Did I give you a card? I did, right?
Yes, but it's both. In my mind,
Yeah.
it's both.
It's
It makes
both.
sense. It's both because
No,
No.
you know that nothing has ever been connected to having a change, like physiologically. There's no connection that's ever been proven.
I don't think there is a conflict between God as the creator and helping us along, and also evolving, natural physical evolution. I think that has happened hand in hand.
You do.
I don't think there's a conflict.
But I mean, do you have real proof, or are you just kind of that's your gut?
Well, I mean, do you have proof about not saying it is? Do you have proof?
You can't really prove a negative, right? You can't. It's impossible. I can't prove that a unicorn doesn't exist. That shits Skittles. I can't prove it, right?
So
It could.
how are you going to have proof that there's no evolution then?
Excuse me?
You're probably saying that it's not evolution.
Well,
right?
I'm saying that there's no evidence that supports it. So I'm not saying that it's not possible. What I'm saying is where is the evidence really for it? If you dig down, and the people who have started to question the actual people who created the theory of evolution, I believe it turns out a lot of them were Freemasons, and it came out same time like Ball Earth came out, that they pushed Ball Earth. It's like all coordinated, and I've really come to believe that there aren't like coincidences anymore. You know, that things they're happening for everything's a part of like this overall agenda. So I don't know. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong 100%. Can't do that, right? I can't do that. But if you look into the evidence, and that's why, like for me, like you probably think, well, I know that you're so open-minded that you didn't walk away when I showed you the little ball, flat Earth thing,
Right.
which will scare like 99% of the people are like, oh no, let me get away from this guy. You know, I would. There's Eric Dubay. He's done multiple documentaries about flat Earth. Beg you to check him out on YouTube.
What's the name?
Eric Dubay, D-U-B-A-Y.
All right, I will. And I'm going to wrap up the conversation.
Yeah, okay,
soon.
sure. Yeah, and no, just he has a video called the History of Flat Earth. It's on his YouTube channel, but you have to dig for it because if you type it into the algorithm, you'll no longer find it. But it is on his channel, and it's like an hour and a half long, and it's just an interesting watch. If it's something that you've never really looked into, that would be an excellent starting point, I think.
Okay, I will. Nice to meet you. I'm intrigued by what you say and your signs.
I could go home right now after a conversation like this. This is like
Yeah.
why I come here,
Oh, sure.
I love it. Thank you.
I was going to say,
I'm sorry.
So, Obsolete Man,
Yes,
Season 2, Episode 29.
I'll be watching it this evening. Promise.
Obsolete Man.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm David.
You're so fucking stupid.
I'm stupid. This is banner. Ooh, need a new banner. Banner number 1. Banner number 2. Signs and symbols. Rule the world.
Excuse me, could you spare $1, please?
They say the clouds above our heads are spinning 1,000 miles an hour right this moment with the Earth. Kind of got to believe that, I believe. No one's ever proven it. It's all theory. Yeah, this is so much more fun than bringing out my anti-mask campaign. Those are all, you ever see those Illuminati symbols? Almost every politician, actor. It's 666 they're making. That's the sign they're making. So, going back to Flat Earth. Might as well have some fun while I'm out here.